met lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome to Gacha Review once again. I know I've been doing a lot of these recently, but I know just inspiration hit me. And also, this is a gacha that I have been wanting to review for the longest time now. This was supposed to kickstart Gacha Review before all the stuff with Mimi and, you know, the other ideas that I had for that. So this one is called Beauty is Pain. It's a Gacha Life mini-movie, and it is by the wonderful Pineapple Party Gacha. I'm just going to read the description here. So, sorry it's so long, and I have an editor now. She helps me out a lot. She made that thumbnail. She is Archigal, my friend IRL, who has a channel. Go subscribe to her. So this was the first time that someone else had edited one of her videos, and it's the one that blew up. As you can see, it has over 5 million views, 5.5 million views. Yeah. Needless to say, I've wanted to do this for a while, because I remember it having 200k at one point. And I have seen this gacha several times because I've wanted to talk about it. I had a full script of everything and all of my notes on this gacha. I wanted to talk about it that much. And if you know the title of this video, you'll see why. It's honestly, I think, one of my favorite gachas for several reasons, or apart from the fact that it got me inspired to do more reviews and, you know, kind of sort of made me see what was somewhat possible in a mini-movie format. I feel like, without further ado, I should go on with the review. Let's see how long this takes to remind me of one of Mimi's videos.
Why can't you be mine?
Immediately! That's how... Immediately we get Cotton Candy Skies. Granted, for the intro, not the outro this time, but apparently the recipe to having a successful gacha channel is the song Cotton Candy Skies. I will remember that.
God save the prom queen teenage.
Oh yeah, the actual music in this one. Of course it's copyrighted, but I'm going to play it anyway, as usual, because it's part of the viewing experience. She's so beautiful, says the nurse.
Each daydream, just another dressed up.
She will be the light to my life. A very inspirational thing, especially considering that she goes on to be in the limelight. I don't know if that was deliberate or not.
Heartbreak, God save the prom queen, only 18, turned her tears to diamonds in her crown. She's the first in line at the party.
How is she? Exclamation mark. So yeah, Pineapple Party Gacha, or PPG as I like to call her, doesn't have the best spelling either. That seems to be a trend as well. Successful gacha channels can't spell. Well, I suppose the fact that I do voice-acted videos doesn't help me in that case, but whatever.
She's the first in line at the club, and she's got that body, always got...
Yeah, remember that she calls her beautiful, by the way.
Gotta flaunt it, everybody's looking up. When she walks by, you wanna be her.
Yeah, I never know why this shot is here, and neither does PPG, apparently. It makes it so weird because the mum is never seen as a derpy character throughout. It would be a comedic shot, but it undermines the rest of the video, so that's like the first major bit here where I really think something should have been taken out. At least we see Happy Saria there, so there's something.
And your boyfriend pretends not to see her, cause she's got that fire, doesn't even try. Her booty has its own zip code. All the peasants bow.
So yeah, the dad signs her up for a beauty contest. So yeah, that's what I was about to say. Dad signs up for a beauty contest, but she's been called beautiful twice now, by the nurse and by the mum, and then she says so herself. It's Saria's defining trait at the moment. Normally that would be a bad thing, that a character is just beautiful, but because of the nature of this mini-movie, it makes perfect sense that that's how she's been defined literally her whole life at the moment. I mean, it's a bit late now to ask if she's okay with it. She's sort of been signed up. This is like when my parents signed me up to a camp without asking me, and I then enjoyed the camp a lot less, oddly enough. It took me a while to warm up to it because I was forced into it. PSA to parents out there, Don't sign your kids up for things without talking to the kid first. Unless you can't help it. You know, there's sometimes when you're busy, you need the kid to do something, blah 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 blah. But still, some sort of communication there is appreciated. Thank you. This has been a PSA from Jacob Butter. Of course, you have the Naruto run because it's a gacha, and it's a still one. She looks a lot older there for some reason. She's very tall for a 5-year-old.
Take a look at the future. Who knows what's ahead? There's a house on a...
And again, another example of someone just randomly saying beautiful child. And look at the mum's face there. She's obviously slightly uncomfortable at this current moment. You know, she's just having fun with her kid right there. And then what does this one say? I remember this quote specifically.
With an indoor pool and a millionaire in her bed. And the years go by and she still dreams.
Enter her into a contest. There you go. Honestly, I feel like these shots should have been like the other way round. Like, they're in the park first of all after the 5-year transition. And then you get the scene later with Saria saying she looks good, and then the part with the parents and the dad saying up to a beauty contest. Because chances are the mum would have talked to the dad about that, and the dad would have said, oh yeah, what a great idea. Let's enter her into a beauty contest. That would have been a bit more of a natural flow, but it doesn't really lose too much. You still get the general consensus here. I guess it makes sense that everyone is of the same mind. Everyone just sees Saria as someone who should enter a beauty contest. And what happens later?
Keep a man around.
Contest day, that's what happens later. And look how excited the dad is, compared to Saria's expression. If that's not commentary on pageanting and how it's all for the parents and not for the kids, I don't know what is. We meet Athena, the stylist, and here's where I think there's the first bit of like a missed opportunity here, a minor missed opportunity, not like the whole thing. I'll get to that later. But in this instance, Athena is the stylist. Surely Aphrodite would have been a much better name for the stylist. Purely because Aphrodite is the goddess of love and of beauty, Athena is the goddess of wisdom and battle strategy. So, if you're gonna go with a reference there, go with the correct reference, I would say. Chances are PPG doesn't know much about Greek mythology, but, I mean, where does the word Athena come from, for crying out loud? Unless it's like a randomized name. A lot of people choose randomized names in Gacha. And sometimes it works out, sometimes you get star. Enough said on that. Wow, she just hands her the outfit immediately. It's like, oh yeah, wear this. I'm not going to try anything else. Literally just that. It's tailored to your size and everything. That also makes me think, you know, they've got a stylist on the day of the contest. For every single contestant. Something seems wrong there, don't you think? Yeah, well, of course she looks amazing. Look at the other contestants! What has she done to all of them? Look at that! You know, they all got way too much makeup, too much of the blusher. They've all got, you know, wearing white clothing except Zoe, who's wearing slightly pink. You know, they're all very uniform and very the same, and she actually stands out. This is a clear sign of favoritism. You know, she's made everyone else look hideous by comparison. And also, fun fact, one of those is her daughter! The one on the left, Zoe, that's her daughter! So she's playing favoritism, but not even to her own child. What is wrong with this woman? You're supposed to be the goddess of wisdom. Be wise. She is very beautiful. Wow. What a great judge there. You know, normally the judges in a pageant would say something like, here you can see she is wearing such and so, designed by this person, even though this said design is the same one overall. look at the way that she struts or something, or she poses or whatever it is that's going on stage. Some sort of like audio cue to match what's going on the stage, not just she is very beautiful. You know, next up is Zoe, she's very beautiful. Next up is Victoria, she is very beautiful. Next up is Star, she is also very beautiful. Next up is Saria, she is very beautiful. I am a robot. It's like if Malcolm 6 was was judging this. I mean, I'll say that much. You know, she's a natural there. Without any training whatsoever, she knew exactly what to do there. Maybe she's been practicing with the mum or the dad or something, but, you know, there you go. For her first pageant, doesn't seem too bad just to have those few poses right there. Yeah, see? Look at that, see? The difference is monumental. That's what I was saying before.
And she's got the looks and the
Oh yeah, what a surprise. Saria wins. Who could have seen that one coming? Me.
eyes on hearts, but she tried it all for a heart that's whole.
You know what? Normally I'd complain about the visual gag of one parent doing all the work, but in this instance he deserves it because he signed her up for no reason, and you know, this is his own fault. So, you know what, Dad, you lug that luggage.
God save the prom queen.
This is one of the best quotes in the whole video. Even if you lose, we will have the and we will have the best week ever. See, that's how you motivate your child. So, you know, don't worry about winning or losing. We're still going to have fun. That line just really speaks to me. I think it's the best one in the whole movie, like I said. There's just something about the parents that, you know, reassuring the child like that and making sure that everything is still a childlike experience and it's not taken too seriously. If only the rest of the film were like this. Yeah, and then it gets ruined by this next shot. She was meant for the pageant life. Watch what happens. I'm not meant for this. Yeah, so here's the thing. I feel like at this point in the movie, for reasons I'll disclose later, Saria should still be like really excited about this. She's had one pageant and is immediately deciding she's not meant for that. I guess a 5-year-old would think about that. I mean, even though she clearly does not look like a 5-year-old at all in that image right there. It's very sudden in comparison to what happens later. At this point, her excitement, I don't think, should have worn off. Okay, this is too reflective for a 5-year-old. Oh, you have to be perfect, you know. Everyone expects so much of you. You had one pageant that was in a local place. I mean, yes, you had to be perfect in that one, but you had a stylist who just told you to wear something random, you posed, and you won. I mean, that's not exactly perfection incarnate right there. Now that music track has ended, I will say that it fits perfectly with the beginning of the film. Like, honestly, there are very few times that I say that the music in a gacha fits the mood of said gacha, because it's very often that people just don't put the effort in to score their gachas properly. I'm guilty of that sometimes as well, where I can't find like proper music that's not copyrighted. This is copyrighted music, but in this instance, it works so well that I can see why it's still in. You know, God save the prom queen. Yes, she's not only 18, she's 5, but even so, look at the fact that it's about somebody who has so much on their shoulders and is, you know, having so much as responsibility thrust upon them at a young age. That's exactly what's going on. I love that choice. This next one, Mr. Potato Head, does fit as well. It's a more of an obvious choice, but it still works. You're just too beautiful. Too beautiful. And also look at Zoe there. She's been forced to come along because Athena's the worst mother ever. Oh, at least she gets a personal stylist now and pops a chair out of nowhere.
If you weren't born with it, you can buy a couple ornaments. Just be sure to read the warning kits, 'cause pretty soon you'll be bored of it.
Former unbeatable pageant. How many pageants are you allowed to enter if you're 5? I mean, yes, it doesn't say that Zoe is 5, but I think she's the same age as Saria. And, yeah, she now has a grudge for life for something that happened when she was 5 years old. Yeah, great.
Sexual. Hey girl, if you wanna feel sexual.
Okay, so one other thing, yes, until you beat me, I guess. PBG has a horrible habit so far of telling people. You know, you've heard the phrase show, don't tell. In terms of, like, visual media. With Saria's thought sequence in the beginning, you have to be perfect, I don't want to be perfect. We're being told that. You know, maybe a 5-second reaction on her would have been more effective. Zoe's grudge, we can tell she's the same person from the pageant, even though she's not fully made up into her hideous form. We know these things. Maybe her daughter, you know, we know that she's her daughter, that's fine. But the fact that she has a grudge against her can be shown visually rather than told to us through dialogue.
You can always call up a professional. They stick pins in you like a vegetable.
Yeah, again, we know you hate her. Don't tell us these things, show it.
Kids forever.
Are you serious? That's the outfit. It looks like she has mud on her sleeves. Are you kidding me, Athena?
Don't be dramatic, it's only some plastic. No one will love you if you're unattractive. Oh, Mrs. Potato Head, tell me.
I mean, that was quick. The judges can't do anything. She's like, hello, I'm Saria, goodbye. Oh, the 5-second pose. I guess this, imagine if they had so many contestants, that was the only rule. They had to, like, go back to the footage or something and pause at them. That's a lot of effort for basically nothing, but there you go.
Is it true that pain is beauty? Does a new face come with a warranty? Will a pretty
Although apparently there's only 3 contestants, so maybe that's not even a thing.
face make it better?
Also, she reacted before her name was announced, just saying.
Oh, Mr. Potato Head, tell me, how did you afford this surgery? Do you swear you'll stay forever?
This is a great honor, said no 5-year-old ever.
Even if our face don't stay together.
See you at the photo shot.
Even if our face don't stay together.
See, it's not even consistent spelling. It was photo shot in the last one as one word and photo space shoot in that one. I can't believe she won. Huh. Snarl.
If you want a little more
Surely you want her in the same outfit that she won in to show what a winning outfit looked like or something. Now you've just styled her completely differently. What the heck?
confidence, potatoes turn to french fries, yeah, it's common sense. All you need's a couple more condiments and $100,000 for some compliments. Ha ha, it's such a...
Who is that? I do think this instance, because we can't see the actual image, that doesn't look too different, and you can't do that with Gacha, I can see why that line is there, and say like, who is that? That's not me, that kind of thing. You need that commentary in there. I mean, especially since she's still only 5, and she's already being photoshopped and edited like that. Again, this is some nice commentary. It's a great piece of commentary, if nothing else.
waste when little girls grow into their mother's face, but little girls are learning how to cut and paste and pucker up their lips until they suffocate. Ha ha, kids forever.
By the way, she's floating on there, but yeah, they seem so happy. Again, don't tell us that. You can see from your own reaction that is the case. But yeah, they seem to have bonded over something now that she's won. When I watched this like the first time I thought the mum's character to change was a bit drastic, you know, from going from like the reassuring mother to suddenly like bonding with the dad over the fact that the daughter was a pageant queen. But honestly, now looking back at it, I can see why they would bond over that. You know, they've produced a successful child, and they're celebrating over it. I can see why two people would be happy about that. I'm not necessarily saying it's right, but I can see from their point of view why that would happen. So yeah, PBG, I apologize in hindsight for my initial reaction to this, even though that was never documented.
Kids forever, baby soft skin turns into leather. Don't be dramatic, it's only some plastic. No one will.
And yet again, we have 10 years later, ooh. Interesting time card sequence. It reminds me again of Mimi. I guess you just have to write the word uwu into I'm getting the formula here. Successful gachas contain cotton candy skies and uwu.
Love you if you're unattractive. Oh, Mrs. Potato Head, tell me, is it true that pain is beauty? Does a new face come with a warranty? Will a pretty face make it better?
Okay. I love the fact that Saria is revealed in a 15-year-old form. It's like she's a final boss or something. In a 15-year-old form! This is not my final form! No, but I like the fact that 15-year-old Saria is revealed through an image here. It's a creative choice rather than just having her, like, wake up out of bed or something, or you see her in a class or something like that. We'll get to seeing her in a class later. But yeah, honestly, it's a new and exciting choice compared to what we've seen. And the vision that everyone else sees, not necessarily like her herself, which we still are discovering now, because essentially Saria would be a different person by this point. This is where I would have had her change of heart in terms of her pageant life. Or maybe for that first photo shoot. It's possible that first photo shoot you may think, yeah, she can start to see why, you know, it's not her, it's a different form of it's a different person, and that's not the original personality or like look that she had that got her there in the first place. Maybe then she starts to like change her mind and like we have that parents bonding sequence. That kind of would make sense, and she was just stuck with it for 10 years. I convinced myself of that argument now. So then this would be much more of a potent thing. And also, she's not smiling in that. I mean, sometimes you're told not to smile, but she's clearly distressed as well. You can tell that she is still beautiful, and that she is still miserable. And she's wearing a remarkably similar outfit. I bet that wasn't like color change from the last one when this was edited. But oh well.
Oh, Mr. Potato Head, tell me, how did you afford this surgery? Do you swear you'll stay forever? Even if her face don't stay together. Stay forever, stay forever.
Yeah, we remember that. We just saw that. Okay. Modeling offers are roaring in. Surely she would have taken one by this point. Like, if that was what was happening, you would have taken a modeling offer. I mean, I'm sure that by this point, you know, she'd have like corporate sponsors all over the place. But you wouldn't just have Athena, the personal stylist. We need someone new. Wow, okay. That's a little bit on the nose. And yes, I guess we kind of would have someone new, but if she's dominated for the past few years, that's a phenomenon like that's never been seen up until now. You know, pageanting's been happening for decades. I remember the film that was done in the 1960s about beauty pageants. I can't remember what it was called. I just remember the character's character's name was Shirley Freeman, and you can see her transition. Shirley Freeman was kind of the opposite, at least until the very end scene, which I could talk about at some other points. But she was originally hesitant about the pageants. She was convinced as an adult by means of the main guy, whose name I've forgotten, and then she kind of gets wrapped up into it all within a year's time. This is the opposite story, but it's equally effective. Just kind of remind me of each other because it's still like a pageant idea. Point is, pageanting's been around for years, and I don't think we've seen someone who's like truly unbeatable by this point. That's got to like have a conflict on Saria's personality. Like, she's in a position where no one else has been, ever. And what is she going to do with that? We don't know. Again, show, don't tell. You just demonstrated how you showed that picture of her, that she was unhappy with that, and now you're telling us the exact same thing. That's doubly ineffective. We know you've been doing it since you were 5. We saw the last... I know I've watched this before, but it's like I have intervals between like months when I don't watch this. And yeah, the issues sometimes like drain out of my mind. I'm not sure. Yeah, I just said that. But again, I'm analyzing your storytelling. It's a different thing.
Mrs. Potato Head, tell me, is it true that pain is beauty? Does a new face come with a warranty? Will a pretty face make it better? Oh, Mr. Potato.
I still can't believe you won. Yeah, right? You've won everything thus far. I don't think it's that incredible at this point.
Together, stay forever, stay forever. Even if our face don't stay together, stay forever, stay.
All you can think of that's fun. I can imagine Saria being a secret gamer girl or something. Yeah, you're like a sister to me. Wow. What a great thing to say. Remember, you have a daughter as well.
I got breaking news and it's not about you. I've been breaking hearts too, and I learned it all from you. I got my thighs on, feel like Wonder Woman. That's when you want me.
Finally, no more being perfect. Watching the news, the same woman. She missed her own report. What a shame. Change the channel already. It's something you gotta watch something else interesting.
But I'm not your woman when my lipstick pops and
I mean, wow, she managed to eat all of that. That's pretty impressive. I mean, I have a really sweet tooth, and even I can't get through that many sweets.
I feel like Monroe. That's when you want me most. I'm all out of salt. I'm not gonna cry. Won't give you what you want, 'cause I look way too good tonight. I'm all out of salt.
By the way, she's gonna trip on her hair like that. Like, honestly.
Tears are running dry. Won't give you what you want, 'cause I look way too good.
They didn't have anything for a model bod. What store did you go to? What, fruit? Vegetables? Something else, you know? They're available in stores. Come on. Come on, Athena, just look a bit harder.
I'm all out of sight. I'm all out of salt. When I'm about to celebrate, push my head into the cake no more.
Why are you looking at them? Isn't it kind of obvious you saw her wistful look there? Even the characters need to be told certain things in this.
Snake pulling my arm like my snakeskin sailor on. I got my thighs on, feel like Wonder Woman. That's when you want me, but I'm not your woman. When my lipstick pops and I feel like Monroe. That's when you want me most. I'm all out of salt. I'm not gonna.
To be honest, I wouldn't recognize a famous model if I saw one outside. I've had plenty of people tell me that they're models that I just didn't know. So, they're not famous ones, but still. It's kind of like an interesting like part of the world that's necessarily ignored. You know, if you don't do something else, normally you don't get recognized. So, I mean, again, I guess Saria's the unbeatable beauty queen. So, there's that. This part I also really like in this video. You'll see at this point that there's also a really good scene.
Cry. Won't give you what you want, 'cause I look way too good tonight. I'm all out of salt. Tears are running dry. Won't give you what you want, 'cause.
And there it is again. Well, wrong you're, but still, you're so beautiful. Again. Reinforcing the point that that's all that anyone has ever called her.
I look way too good tonight. I'm all out of sight.
See, look at that. I mean, yes, they only wanted a picture. Don't show, don't tell. Again, we don't need that part. But just that scene alone, the fact that they just left her immediately, you know, they're probably going to get some Instagram clout out of it or something, and that's it. Like, honestly, some people do that with celebrities, you know, unless you look up to them for a specific reason, you don't tend to, like, to really spend a lot of time around them. You can just say that you met them and you move on. It's almost like being a public figure just means that to certain people, which is disheartening, but is a somewhat of a reality that, honestly, until I saw this video, I didn't really consider. Because I never know what I'm going to do, like, if I meet certain celebrities. I mean, I have met certain celebrities, you know, you can see that, but, you know, never in a moment where I've actually been able to talk to them properly or say something, you know, and then just move on. It's something that I didn't think of until I watched this video. So, to anyone who thinks that gachas can't be powerful and actually, you know, tell a good story, they can. I mean, as much as I'm nitpicking this story, you know me. Whenever I like something a lot, I nitpick it to death. So, there you go, that's a good sign right there. Ever since that Brat Surya won 10 years ago, does no one think of the passage of time in this world? Not gonna cry. And I think you would be friends with Surya, you know, if you didn't have, you know, a huge vendetta against her that has now taken up 2/3 of your life. Again, Athena is the worst mother ever. Oh yeah, she's going to your school now. What a great surprise to thrust upon your child. Again, consult your children on these things, people. It only takes a few moments. And then Zoe could have said no, and then move on. I'm all out of sight. I'm not gonna cry. Her old school got too crowded. Oh yeah, and they decided to kick out the famous model from their school. That makes perfect sense. Give you what you want, 'cause I look way too good tonight. I'm all out of soul. Tears are running dry. Won't give you what you want, 'cause I look way too good tonight. I don't want to hang out with a brat. How ironic. This is the pop Josephine of this world. Yes, realization dawns in, doesn't it? Also, again, another example of show don't tell. You can just have her, like, lament over herself, like, hang her head in shame, but whatever. No, she's not. Stop lying, Surya. And no, you're the one who's spoiled. When have we ever seen her spend any time with Zoe? We're being told things off screen. I told Mimi about this, that she retcons a lot of things when I watched her Taming the Bad Boys with her. It's bad storytelling when you have to tell stuff later on. Aiden said something similar in one of the videos that we did later on, which I'm not going to find the clip of right now because I have to edit that later. But he said something like if the author has to clarify something, it can't technically be canon if it's not represented. I mean, you've got J.K. Rowling to disprove that theory, but still, that's a whole other matter that I'm not going to touch beyond what I need to. In this instance, it's bad storytelling, because we have to be, again, told certain things. I know we can't be shown that, but there should be at least some sort of hint. Zoe is going to my new school. Yeah, you're going to Zoe's school. Again, you're the spoiled one. Wow. Didn't even change the names until the text speech started.
I am the sun. You know you need me and you might get burned if you take too much.
Yeah, that's what I said. I agree with her. She's going to her school, not the other way around.
Don't get addicted, 'cause I'm gonna fade you like that rush. Is that
Do you better not outstage me.
blood on me or blush? So what? You know I'm not a saint, but I can make you pray. So get down on your knees, give me a reason I should stay. Trapped inside this madness, I know you wanna have this, so I can take advantage.
Oh, by the way, at this point, I think the songs start to make less sense. I mean, Savage doesn't really fit with this idea, unless we're talking about how Zoe has a savage vendetta against Saria, but that's only like minor compared to what's about to happen. Also, I like the fact that they have each other's numbers. Psych, I don't. Why would they have each other's numbers? Were they forced to give each other their numbers by Athena? Honestly, that would make too much sense.
Savage. Savage. When you touch me, you take me to heaven. When you hold me, my body's a weapon. If you think that you can save me, break me down and tame me. Here's your chance to do some damage.
This mother is obsessed with shopping, by the way.
Savage.
Hey, Moneybag. She just have the money, like, represented there, just, like, carrying it in her hand. That is a really bad idea.
I am the tide. I know you.
I have seen normal girls play that. I want to be normal girl, therefore I must play.
Drown in your own right.
Oh, yeah, because you've never played it before, so you say, oh, yeah, I doubt it, you person who's clearly clad in soccer attire. Hello?
Be careful who you trust. Don't get it twisted, cause I could be really into us. Or I can leave you just because.
I love how she just accepts that immediately. There's no pause for thought or anything. She's like, oh yeah, fine, whatever. I'll beat you at a game that I've never played before. You know, just because you're a beauty queen doesn't mean you have to be an airhead.
You know I'm not a saint, but I can make you pray. So get down
Oh yeah, what a surprise, he won. Who would have seen that coming?
on your knees, give me a reason I should stay. Trapped inside this madness, I know you wanna have this, so I can take advantage. Savage.
That was horrible. Yeah, you put yourself through that, so...
Savage.
Yet fun. Ooh, okay. I forgot you said that.
When you touch me, you take me to heaven. When you hold me, my body's a weapon.
I honestly don't know. I never had boba tea before. Tell me in the comments if boba tea is any good.
If you think that you can save me, break me down and tame me. Here's your chance to do some damage. Savage.
Concerned about that now? She got to the front of her house and only just then thought that. Yeah, I feel like Saria's a bit dumb, honestly.
Savage.
Oh wow, she didn't even finish it. Okay, I mean, no one was like expecting her at a certain time. Also, you never did any shopping, so whatever. Also, you forgot to wipe the mud off your face. Big disgrace.
I dive into frozen waves where the past comes back to life. Fight fear for the selfish pain. It was worth it every time.
Oh, I forgot to mention the mother again. The contrast between her and at the beginning and now, you know, she's just concerned about her skin just because of the modeling stuff, not to do with the fact that she's actually dirty, but yeah.
Hold still right before we crash, cause we both know how this ends. A clock ticks till it breaks your glass, and I drown in you again. Cause you are the piece of me I wish I didn't need. Chasing
Oh yeah. So at this point, the 14-minute mark is where I stop enjoying this gacha as much as I have. You know, we've had a lot of beauty pageant commentary, how it affects Saria's self-identity and everything. All of that is now going to be dropped for what I like to call the B story. Because the A story is really interesting, but the B story is frankly not. Because this came out around a time where the B story you see here is pretty much everything you would see in a gacha. I mean, Just watch.
Still fighting, I don't know why. If our love is tragedy, why are you my remedy?
Okay, that's still not too bad.
If our love is insanity, why are you my parody?
Maybe that's where I got the name Grey from. I just think of the wrong Gacha. Sorry, Mimi. Oh, look at that. See? So we've had the new girl come to school. One guy is nice to her, gives her attention, and she starts blushing. Yep. It's one of those now. Aren't you so glad? Didn't you just think that these characters deserve so much more? And also, Andre is clearly a boy's name and he's in a dress for some reason. We're gonna get into some Yuki territory here. Another thing for a successful gacha, have a boy dress in women's clothing. Apparently, the recipe for pantomime is the same for gacha. There you go. Yeah, you're so cute together after only 5 seconds. Because gacha logic, and that's all it takes in these episodes. But I don't like her. Baka. Nye. Of course, we get a makeover scene immediately after introducing the first design. Right, because it was clearly already faulty, wasn't it? Even though she showed nothing but kindness and enthusiasm wanting to be with him there. But whatever, clearly his look is the problem. It cuts deep to our ground and makes us... And yeah, I get that Athena before would have had a change of clothing right there, you know, because that's her job. She has a bunch of costume changes. But why does Andre have a spare set of clothes in Grayson's size? Don't speak as I try to leave, 'cause... Oh, yeah, don't start pointing out logic now. We're really far gone to start doing that at this point. We both know what we'll choose. If you pull, then I'll push too deep and I'll fall right back. Of course he has the bad boy earring and the bracelets and everything. Because everyone has to be a bad boy in Gacha. Yeah. 'Cause you are the piece of me. Yeah, he's only talking to her. That is a good point at this stage. You know, it's not like anything's happened yet. Although, of course, what do you think is going to happen? Ugh, because everything's so predictable now. That was a quick change. How do you know he's just using her? Yes, it turns out to be true, but I know that because I've seen this. He's just going, oh yeah, he's just using her now. Show, don't tell. She makes him happy. Really, does she now? Because they met that very same day. I'm sure there are other things that make him happy at this point. We need some sort of time frame now. Show that there's a little bit of a development there. That they actually have been friends for a while. Maybe if you had them be friends for a while, and then it turns out that she never takes any interest in him, never picks up on any cues, and Grey realizes that he likes her then, this would make sense that she makes him happy. But they've known each other for mere minutes. And in that time, what's happened is, want to be my friend? Yes. Where's the bathroom? That way. That's it! watch where you're going. Add that to the your count if I ever make one. Okay, so you know what? I can see that he's actually taking a cue, and he's trying to be a bit of a gentleman in front of Saria. It shows a manipulative side, actually, and it's subtly done. Well, I mean, it's not subtly done. We can see it blatantly, but it's not blatant in a bad way. Well, im going to class. Yay. My favorite of the typos. Im. And every single gacha fight looks like that. That's why I never represent them on screen. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Gacha fights are terrible. And through all that, he just gets one black eye, even though he got kicked several times. Whatever. Honestly, Andre could tell Saria right now that Noah beat her up. Noah beats him up, sorry. And that'll have some sort of grounds for believability. And again, you can check the CCTV or something if you need to, like, report it to a teacher. This would be a good opportunity if it were used correctly. No points as to guessing whether it's used correctly or not. I'm asking her out today, the same day I met her. Because of course. Okay, you know what? Going back to Show Don't Tell, that's a good example of showing. He doesn't answer the question, he just walks away. So we're left to imagine that the answer is yes, because no one in their right mind would answer yes to that question, even if it is true. And of course, he is too much of a charmer to do that. Ugh, and he's got an eye patch. Of course he's got an eye patch. It just has costumes readily available. Andre is the new Athena at this point.
I've been feeling something for you lately, and I am trying to...
I don't know if it was a coincidence that the song about, you know, feeling for someone lately just kicks in immediately at this point. Maybe I misjudged the music from this point onwards. It's only because it doesn't match the rest of the story we got so far, but whatever.
So hard to just stay cool. Oh man, I think I might be going crazy. 'Cause all I really...
You know what? I'll say one thing. The exploiting Saria's weakness for kissing boys makes sense right now. I can see why she would fall for him now just because of that, you know? Clearly she's addicted to kissing. Oh, he's just gonna leave now. Okay. You know, making it a bit obvious of just using her, but whatever.
I'm saying we're just friends, but thinking you're my man. And baby, if you knew, hey, I say,
Oh, I wonder if it could be.
I'm doing alright, I'm doing just fine, but I'm scattered, and I cry when you're not around, because it matters.
Okay, I'm sorry. How on earth does this happen? Did no one, like, come to pick her up from school or something? And she just thought, oh yeah, I'm just gonna wander into this dark alley. This is clearly the way home that I came through. Obviously. I love how everyone knows her. It's like one of the few models that anyone would recognize immediately, despite wearing glasses or anything and a hat. She's probably had so many outfits at this point that anyone would recognize her in anything. And I would say again, though, you're a very beautiful thing, but every other motif has been dropped so far for this story, so I'm not even going to count it as such.
Friends. Oh no, I don't wanna be the one with answers, because I sure don't wanna know which girl you choose. And no, the thought of her being...
What a coincidence. The one person who you can find in a dark alley is the one wearing black clothing. Of course.
Too much for me to do, but I'm like, I say that I'm alright, but cry on the inside. I wish you were my man. Hey, I say I'm doing alright, I'm doing just
How do you just forget that immediately? I mean, you don't just forget that you have a guest in your house and just start walking around with no shirt on. Crying out loud.
fine, but I'm scattered, and I cry when you're not around.
Oh yeah, I didn't know you woke up, therefore I was just gonna risk going out without a shirt for no reason. Wearing a shirt doesn't take that much effort, for crying out loud. Even Aaron managed that later on.
Because it matters, dreaming of your kisses in the nighttime, knowing what I'm missing, but I'm still like, hey, I say I'm doing alright, I'm fine, but I'm scattered, we're just friends.
No, I have a boyfriend, as of today. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm scattered, we're just
Wow, that healed instantly. That's another thing in gachas. Wounds heal instantly. That's why I left Pop's, like, darkened eye in for episode 9, so you could tell that it was still, like, healing. And it was like a visual cue that her guilt or, like, her humiliation was still there.
friends, just friends. So I stay away.
I mean, that's a good point. He carried her whilst unconscious. How is she just gonna, like, randomly leave and not know which way to go? It's a bit presumptuous there.
I don't wanna be dreaming, 'cause my heart aches when I wake up, it's deceiving. Why, oh why?
Yeah, you see this a lot. He's just living on his own for some reason. Let's find out.
Can it be you and I? Hey, I say I'm doing alright, I'm fine. Hey, I say I'm doing alright, I'm doing just fine, but I'm scattered, and I cry when you're not around.
Yeah, she lives really far away because as my legal guardian, probably, or closest relative, she has no responsibility for me whatsoever. Grayson would have gone into care in this world, or at least in some form. Just an excuse to make them so that he can live on his own, and they can be uninterrupted and alone. But it's a bad excuse.
In the nighttime, knowing what I'm missing, but I'm still like, hey, I say I'm doing alright, I'm doing just fine, but I'm scattered, and I cry when you're not around, because it matters.
Finally, it took mere seconds again. Time doesn't pass normally in this universe.
Your kisses in the nighttime, knowing what I'm missing, but I'm still like, hey, I say I'm doing alright, I'm fine, but I'm scattered, we're just friends.
You didn't say where you were, you numpty. Wait, what? No? Was that what you said? Hang on. What? No? What? No, good fellow? Let's just let the creator skip to when they get here. Wow. Another fourth wall break. You can just skip anywhere, If you can't show a montage, that's fine, but, at least you can show time passing anyway. Stay in character, just like actors. That's kind of funny, actually.
He is a hustler, he's no good at all. He is a loser, he's a bum, 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 bum. He lies, he bluffs, he's unreliable.
I didn't know you were coming, that's why I'm not wearing a shirt again. And he's in his underpants as well, clearly, because that's what gacha underpants look like.
He is a sucker with a gun, 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 gun. I know you told me I should stay away.
I like the fact that it's getting closer and closer. You can see from Suria's first-person point of view for the dream sequence. That's a great visual. The song, on the other hand, is I'm in love with a criminal. Gray is clearly not a criminal. He looks like a bad boy, but he has exhibited no traits of being a bad boy whatsoever. He's just poor, nice, and, lives on his own. That's it. I mean, technically, I guess living on your own when you're underage would be a criminal offense, but not in the sense this song is implying. So I'm going to say the song doesn't fit here.
I know you said he's just a dog, driver. He's a bad boy with a tainted heart. And even I know this ain't smart.
Oh, and she's drooling and everything. You know what? Yeah, see, now we've had time to develop them, and they've actually spent, a good chunk of time together, in each other's company, probably talking about random things or something, and, getting to know each other. It makes sense. Crushes can develop quite quickly, but to the extent of infatuation like that, you need that development, and PPG has added that development. At last. Thank you.
But mama, I'm in love with a criminal.
You have a boyfriend that's about 5 seconds, and that was just because of the kiss. You have a problem, Saria.
And this type of love isn't rational, it's physical. Mama, please don't cry, I will be alright.
Yeah. Funny how you just happened to have that, didn't you? It would make more sense if she got cold and Grayson gave her his, and then that have more of an emotional significance. But yeah, fine.
All reason aside, I just can't deny love or die. He is a
I think it looks better on me. You know what? She is a model, so probably in universe it doesn't, but I'm gonna have to agree with Grayson here. Oh, and look, Noah and Zoe are there. You know what? Here's a bit of a bit of an escape here. Zoe gets with Noah all of a sudden. That kind of solves all of the issues because Zoe gets to one-up Saria in something, aka dating Noah, and Saria gets what she wants and gets to date Gray as well, and not be bothered by Zoe at the same time. It would be a win-win. Does PPG craft the story like that? Let's find out.
villain by the devil's law. He is a killer just for fun. The man's a snitch and unpredictable. He's
Oh, okay. So Zoe just wanders off after Noah calls Saria babe, and she still has a smile on her face. What is going on in this universe?
got no conscience, he got none.
I have some modelling to do. Notice how it's been a long time since the word modelling has been mentioned. The theme of this video has been completely dropped for the romance story. It's still called Beauty is Pain, but now it just looks like two guys fighting over a girl. This very easily could have been a completely different story. PPG apologized in the description for making this so long. It didn't have to be that long because it could have just been the beauty story, and it would have been so much better.
I know, should let go, but no. 'Cause he's a bad boy at the
And also, she clearly has some modelling, not pageanting. So modelling offers have been coming in, and she has accepted some. Like I thought before.
tainted heart. And even I know this ain't smart. But mama, I'm in love with a criminal. And this type of love isn't rational, it's physical. Mama, please don't cry.
He knows. He's just like, yeah, drop the pretenses. You know what you want.
Can't deny love or die. And he's got my name.
Okay, I like that Matteo has a purpose now, because he seemed to be just the odd one out in this friendship group. And of course, Zoe, again, like I said, there's a bit of there's actually something else that she can one-up Saria on. There you go.
Tattoo on his lucky charm. So I guess it's okay.
That's a very obvious insult. He's clearly not going to take offense to that, because he's still smiling.
He's with me. And I hear people talk.
Oh wow, okay. I love also that Dahlia was one of the actual girls there, and I think also was the other one. Yeah, Bella. They were the girls from before.
And I hear people talk. Try to make remarks keep us apart. But I don't even hear.
No more fighting? This needs context now.
I don't care.
She'll never believe you, her friend. Yeah, okay. She'll believe me because I'm so different for some reason. I'm a completely different story to the other friend who is equally as much of a friend, but yeah, whatever. You right. For some reason that I do not know, you right. But you not going to tell her. Me know her. Me speak in proper pronouns for some reason.
Cause mama, I'm in love with a criminal.
As long as I get money. Oh, is that how that works? That he's gonna ask for money from the girl? If that's the case, then you're barking up the wrong tree with Zoe, because as we clearly established, Athena needs the money from Saria's parents. Therefore, they're struggling financially. Therefore, his plan is flawed.
This type of love isn't rational, it's physical. Mama, please don't cry, I will
Yeah, and of course we get that. Yeah, we saw that before.
be alright. All reason aside, I just can't deny I love the guy. Mama, I'm in love with a criminal. And this type of love.
And of course, because Saria has learnt nothing, she just gives away the money and carries that on her person anyway. What a surprise.
Isn't rational, it's physical. Mama, please don't cry, I will be alright. All reason aside, I just can't deny love the guy.
Oh, I guess he's actually just taking Zoe out. Maybe he does actually like Zoe in the end. Or not. I don't know. I don't know what happened with Bella. Maybe Bella and Dahlia are still dating him, you never know. Oh, and we're back to the A story now of the actual modelling. It feels off at this point. We could have skipped the whole school plot and then gone back to this, and we'd have the better story than before. Like I said previously. That was the final straw. Someone saying she got a little chubby. I reckon that a lot of people would have said that at this point, but it feels odd that one person's random comment would be the tipping point for her. Come on. And also the parents clearly aren't, they don't seem to be exhibiting as much love as before. Honestly, Saria would have probably forgotten the reason now. Like, if you remember, like, when she was 5 and the parents were still arguing, that would be maybe a bit of a stretch, honestly. I don't know if starting out age 5 worked or not. Depends. Oh yeah, what happened to "It's my choice," the quote that you gave me 10 years ago when I was 5 and I wouldn't remember it.
He doesn't love you like I do. She doesn't have my name. However, she tries to act like it.
Oh yeah, see? That's why he needed to live alone, because she could have to stay with him and they had to be alone. Obviously. Back to B story then.
Never be the same, but she's new, she's beautiful. You've never been in a fight. Yeah, it's awfully perfect now.
Oh yeah, again with the shirtless stuff. He's just got completely comfortable now, of course. I mean, he's still blushing, but whatever.
But you just know deep inside, she is not me. She is not me.
That was, quite quick. And for the first time, clothes don't fit because people have different sizes. Finally, that's being addressed.
She is not me, baby. She is not me. Does she make you feel?
That was quick, but yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense, given that Saria was actually shown to like him. So yeah, I'm not gonna complain about that one.
Wanted like I did. Make you feel.
Now we do get a montage. Clearly, montages are in PPG's range, or were at this point.
Like you're the one thing that matters. You let her head rest.
And they say that they're sorry. Oh.
On your chest.
I'm guessing that's a wedding, or supposed to be.
But when you
And they named their child after the ex-boyfriend who cheated on her and used her for money. What is wrong with you?
close your eyes,
It's longer than it should be. Yeah, no duh, it's longer than it should be.
you'll be seeing.
The end. Crying out loud. And I guess the final track doesn't even end. Yeah, alright then. So, like I said before, A story, brilliant. B story, cliche. A story, maybe had some problems here and there in terms of the logistics of it, but has great commentary. B story, exactly what you would expect it to be. And both stories had too much telling rather than showing, but that was the one thing that was consistent. And that's a bad consistency to have. So, again, you know, the first one, the A story seemed like it was an original idea. The A story was an original thought that was brilliantly executed, and I hadn't seen before. The B story was everything I had seen up to that point. Too many gachas, especially around the time this was released, were like this. It just seems wrong that it went into such a normal story when it could have been great. That's why I'm not saying this gacha is bad. It's still one of my favorite gachas, but I am saying it is a blatant and enormous missed opportunity. But regardless, please be sure to subscribe to PPG in the description. You know, she does do amazing gachas. She is better than most gacha tubers, and I feel very confident saying that. I do enjoy her content. But also, while you're here on this video, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters. And on that note, until next time, farewell.